Hi, this is part 4 of our ongoing saga of the re-whitening of the NuTone Model 2027 inside remote stations. In part 3, you got to see me reassemble them all, and I've chosen the 6 that we're going to send to our customer, and the last step now is we have to test each one, because while you can clean the volume controls and you can clean the intercom switches and you can measure the impedance of the speaker cone, the real final test is how does it play and will it work? Now, I don't have an extra 2055 vacuum tube master station floating around because they're fairly rare to come by, and I'm not really going to rebuild one of my stock ones that I have on the shelf just for testing purposes. So I decided to make a reasonable choice, and what we're going to use today for our master station is we're going to use a NuTone IM2003, because in every respect the 2003 is the descendant of the 2055, and it would seem like an appropriate choice, and plus I already had one at the shop rebuilt, so it was an easy thing to pull off the shelf and bring here today. We're going to do 2 tests on these. The 2 tests are, does the intercom switch work correctly, and does it play properly and sound correct, and is the volume control work, and is it noisy or is it not noisy? Not noisy is what we're looking for. Smooth, no static as you turn it, no crackling, any of that kind of stuff. The intercom switch is a very basic switch. It has 2 contacts, contact number 1, contact number 2. It has the springy metal rod that is the 3rd part of the contact, and in the at-rest position it's resting on the bottom contact, and that allows the music to play. And when someone pushes the brown button, the springy metal rod moves up and touches the other contact, and that activates the intercom part of the station so you can talk to other people in other parts of the house. All of the actual intercom functions are in the master station. This is just a very primitive switch. This is what I always refer to as the Flintstones switch, because it couldn't be any simpler than it is. That type of switch won't work with a 2003. However, all we're really looking for is that when you push the button, it makes a proper connection. That's all we really care about. If it makes the connection, then the rest of it's up to the master station. So the setup here is I have 2 sets of wires connected. I have this set over here, which is connected to the leads of my multimeter, which is up there on the bench, and when I push the switch, it's in the multimeter is in continuity mode. It should beep, and if I hold the switch down, it will measure the resistance of the circuit, and that's what we're looking for, a beep and a measurement. That's all we care about. So I'm going to go ahead and push it. And if you listened, you would have heard a pop out of the speaker. That's because the multimeter is actually sending a little bit of voltage through the probes, and you hear the pop in the speaker, which is what I would expect. So we'll do it one more time. Listen carefully. And we get our impedance, or our resistance measurement of about 32 ohms, which is about what I would expect. So that works fine. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on our 2003, and I only can play it for a few seconds because, you know, copyright infringement and all that junk. So we'll turn it on. We'll turn this down. Plays through this. Volume control is nice and smooth. There's no crackling or popping. Works just great. That's all we got to do. So that's 1 of 6. Now the other 5. And there you have it. All 6 of the 2027s passed the testing with flying colors. All of the intercom switches had good continuity and they all measured equal to each other. All of the volume controls are cleaned and silent and there's no static in them. And best of all of the speakers play and they all sound the same. They sound exactly like what you would expect them to be. It's interesting how what started off to be a fairly simple and ordinary thing to do around here turned into a greater project overall, because we wanted to do a really good job for the customer so he can put together his retro 2055 intercom system. If you consider that the average overall age of all of these together is about 50 years old, I think that we did a good job in refurbishing or perhaps restoring them back to their original condition. I have a feeling that they probably look just about every bit as like new today as they did when they were first made back in the late 1960s. I hope you found this interesting and perhaps helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube, because that always helps. Lots of thumbs ups in this video, don't you think? There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell, and when you click on the bell, click on it to receive all notifications. And every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.